watching Teresa and David's channel. I'm Teresa.
And I'm David. If you've been watching for a little while, this is our third podcast. So excited. If you watched last week, we introduced a brand new segment called Humor Me. We have some really fun stuff to talk about. Are you going to humor me later? That'd be really cool if you would. I'm going to poop on LeBron James later, so make sure you tune in for that. And we have a brand new segment this week as well.
I'm super excited. It's called Downtown with David. Whoa. I'm so excited for that segment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I mean, I work downtown, so there's always crazy stuff happening in Minneapolis. Always super fun to talk about it. Before we dive in, we have kind of a few housekeeping notes to go through. Housekeeping? One is, if you cannot see these microphones, talk really sexy into that thing. Anyways, this is podcast number 3, and this is the third go with our audio.
Yeah.
It's so funny that we use two different... We still want to be sponsored by Apple, but we did not have success with their earbuds or their AirPods. We're figuring the audio out. It was so funny to use two totally different things and then just use the audio from
and
the
just use
camera.
it. I'm saying we are using the audio from these lav mics. But if you own like a production company or an audio company or you sell audio equipment and you're like, you know what, I like these guys. I'm going to sponsor them and help them out
with
audio
sounds
equipment.
of their voices.
Just, give us some stuff to use.
For sure. We are just so happy to be doing this. It is so much fun working together. Eventually we're going to get probably a whole setup with really good mics with filters and all that stuff. Look really professional. Yeah. But for now, we're just going to have to...
I think this is pretty good for now.
I think so too.
I think we look professional.
I think
we're professional.
Almost too professional.
You're going to make doing that. No, I'm just like,
yeah. Other difficulty we ran into was we got a content ID claim.
Oh my gosh.
We don't even need to talk about what that is. I played a video that for Will Terry Think It's Funny, which is going to be really hilarious today as well, that would have been banned in the United Kingdom and like 5 other countries. I really did not think through that one.
Well, I mean,
it was hilarious. I hope that we put the link in there, right? I hope people watch that. Annoying Devil.
It's really funny. But we learned a lot about copywriting, and we've done a ton of research. And supposedly there's like fair use laws and like being able to comment on videos. But we're playing it safe for a little while and just using Creative Commons videos. So don't worry, we won't get to this point and then there's like a video cut out.
And I think that was good. What else do we need to say? I mean, every Wednesday morning. That's how we're going to post these things. It's the perfect way to get through your Wednesday.
Perfect halfway point through the week, be like, oh, I can't wait for Teresa and David because they're going to get me through the morning or like get me through the afternoon lunch. I don't know.
Watch it on your way to work. Watch it on your way home from work. Watch it while you're operating heavy machinery at work or just for your leisure. Maybe people operate heavy machinery for leisure. It's super fun. I got to use an excavator. Oh. Yeah, operate one of those bad boys one time. It was really cool. I was really bad at it, but
it was big.
Yeah, like one of the scoopy things. There's there's multiple pedals, and then there's also multiple of these things.
So you're basically dancing.
You're just doing the twist the whole time. I was so bad, but it was like my last week at that job, so I kind of didn't care.
Good. When you leave a job, I feel like it's, just do whatever you've been wanting to do, especially the
That's mostly what this podcast is going to be about, is just leave your job, do whatever you want to do. Cool. So, every Wednesday, Terry, where are we going this week?
I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to my sister and brother-in-law. We are picking you up in D.C. and bringing it back to MN. I'm so excited.
And then
Minnesota. No, I'm really excited though because my sister has been away from home for years and years since high school. She went to school in Boston and then she went out to California and fell in love with her now husband.
Oh boy!
Now they're married and they've been living in DC for a few years. And now they're like, yeah, it's time to move back to Minnesota because it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're helping them road trip out, and they're actually going to be living in our apartment complex.
So wild.
Hashtag party all summer.
Yeah. They are, Gabrielle and Kyle are like the biggest fans of our 7 Seconds in Heaven segment. Probably the biggest fans.
No, they're like
Wish they
not
could do
at
it in
all
real life.
with the PDA.
Well, it is what it is. Yeah, so that is what we have going on.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on social media to see everything that we're up to.
We're going to be doing a YouTube Live at some point next week, so either
From
Thursday or Friday.
Maybe.
So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because we're going to be posting updates all week on... My sister has an amazing tour for us planned in DC.
I cannot wait. I've never been to DC.
I can't wait.
I'm
so
sit
excited.
in Abraham Lincoln's lap, probably.
Maybe. It's a big...
I think
do you know how
definitely.
big that thing is?
I bet it's huge.
It's huge, but you're a good climber, so...
Thank you. That was so nice of you to say.
You're welcome.
Hard transition, segue into podcast 3. What is that? Did you see this?
Hey!
Wow.
I don't know if they can see that.
I got it with this thing. You could say we're in a relationship, right?
Yeah, I guess marriage would solidify that.
Kind of a long-term relationship.
Eternity.
Yeah, you can't get away because you signed a thing. Anyways, we have some stuff we want to talk about this week for relationship advice, and this doesn't just go for husband and wife stuff. Really, anyone, if you have a strong friendship with or any kind of relationship with, I think this is applicable to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I think the best way to set this up is to say sometimes, especially when you've known somebody for a while, you can kind of get to that point where it's easy to just assume things instead of acknowledging them. And that's something that we were looking at this week. Mm-hmm. We're always trying to grow with each other. If you're not growing, if you're not going forward, you're going probably backwards, wrong way.
And I want to go forwards.
Forwards!
I guess that was sideways, but I didn't want to point right at you, so sorry.
I want you.
I want you.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll just say the example that I kind of thought of was my beautiful, beautiful wife was so kind on Friday to drive me to work and then pick me up afterwards. Mm-hmm. Didn't pack me a sack lunch, which I was a little bummed out about. Even though it was in the evening, so it wasn't lunchtime.
Next time.
No, I'm just joking. Anyways, so it could have been really easy to just assume that I think you're awesome, and I'm super grateful.
Which
that
I
you
do,
did that.
because
of course,
there's no doubt in my mind how much you love me because you show me all the time.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. And I think that's a big part of it. Is actions are hugely important, but that doesn't mean that it's not also important to be able to acknowledge, hey, I so appreciate that you did something you didn't have to do to drive, into the city. We don't live that far, but still, anytime driving in the city is stressful. I'll talk about that later. To go out of your way to do something for me. And it's one of those things that if you just let time go by and by and by, it can start to build up if you feel like somebody is just assuming instead of acknowledging.
I've definitely done that before, and even in friendships, that's something that happens in friendships, or even with your parents or your kids or whatever, of just being like, wow, I'm doing these things and nobody's noticing it, and that's not a selfish thing. That's just, sometimes maybe it's selfish, if you're asking for attention, but what we're talking about is more just, going out of your way to do something for someone, and the act of them acknowledging it back it just means a lot. And,
yeah, for sure.
David did that, and I was like, wow, that means a lot, because I was driving you in just because I love you and I wanted to do that for you, and you were like, hey, that means a lot to me. I was like, well, that means a lot to me.
Yeah, it was nice that you were like, listen, I just want to spend more time with you, so I'll drive you in. Yeah. It was nice. Yeah. And that's, it was kind of tying in with that. I think that also something we kind of recently started doing is just going into situations. It's assumed we got each other's back. Yeah. Right? That's my back. I got it.
Got a great back.
Thank you. You too.
It's really creepy way to say
that. It's horrifying. But there's power in saying things and putting it on the open, and instead of just assuming that we're both on the same page, to just say, you know what, we're going into this meeting, or maybe, especially if it's kind of like some kind of stressful situation or whatever it is, to just say, hey, I got your back. Yeah. And the more you say that, the more it becomes more and more true.
Right. And the more you trust each other, because trust is like the biggest thing in a relationship. And to acknowledge that and say like, hey, I got your back. And like, even if you're going to hang out with friends, like just to know that your person is your person and they'll always have your back. That means a lot in a relationship or friendship, and yeah.
I think it's really good in all relationships that you have to just take that step back and be like, where are some moments that, maybe not exactly a blind spot, but that I could just say, I want to acknowledge, like I like how you said, your person, whoever that is that this makes you think of. I want to acknowledge something in that relationship instead of just, you go on long enough where stuff is assumed. It gets easy to build up, whether it's resentment or something like that, where you feel unappreciated. Yeah. Even people that are like, oh no, I don't need to be noticed or appreciated or whatever. Mm-hmm. Everybody definitely does.
Yeah,
and it builds up over time.
Yeah, it does. And that's like the worst thing, to just let it build up and up and up. And then it all comes out and you're like, why are you so angry? And then it's like, wait, why am I so angry?
Because it's bigger than it should be. Because you held on to it. And
it went, yeah. So
just
happens. Be honest with each other and make sure you've got each other's backs. And trust each other and acknowledge each other and give each other a high five once in a while.
Yeah, little high, little five. I got your back.
I got your back, homie.
You got my homie.
Wow, way back.
Cool. So listen, this is good, I think
for
this week. Just to have each other's back.
Yeah.
Right?
Try it out this week with somebody,
I think,
with a friend or your boyfriend, your wife or husband, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just be like, hey, you know what? I got your back.
It's funny because it's like we know that so deeply, and yet it still is so nice to be able to specifically acknowledge that with each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You're like my teammate and you're my best friend.
Yay.
All right. Before we go into halftime, what do you think about a little humor me?
Humor me.
Just one of those this down here, so we got to time this. Do you want me to grab this?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So, Terry, what do I need to humor you about today?
You to me or me to you?
What are you going to say that I need to humor?
Well, I
mean,
want
like,
my full...
subject.
Oh, okay,
like,
subject-wise?
No, I don't...
I want my full...
You're so suspicious of me. You're like, don't put that timer on yet.
Don't do it yet. I'm not ready.
Just give us a headline real quick.
Well, as you guys know, I have a gluten allergy and a dairy allergy.
Oh, I know.
Make sure you watch the video that I posted on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Monday, yeah.
About an awesome smoothie recipe that I came up with. Anyway, when we go out to eat, sometimes it can be a little tricky, but something I can normally rely on are French fries. And even though they're not good for you, it shouldn't be a regular thing. I usually treat myself when we go out. And yeah, so my headline this week is French fries.
All right, ready?
I'm getting nervous.
Let's put 60 seconds on the clock for humor me. Oh, we haven't do it.
Oh, for humor me. Okay,
ready?
I'm ready. So I've been out to 2 restaurants in the last 2 weeks. One to meet a friend, one to go out last night, and I've just noticed a lot that restaurants, French fries should be a reliable thing unless you have celiac disease, and then the cross-contamination won't work. But French fries are just potatoes that are fried, so you should be good. But why would restaurants not have a French fry option that is just totally gluten-free? Because some restaurants have them like beer battered or like #Hopcat, please put on the menu a regular French fry, because yours are beer battered, and it's kind of ridiculous because I literally can't eat anything at your restaurant. And anyway, but I love going there. It's a great restaurant. You should still go there. But so yeah, that was a really frustrating thing for me this week, to be like going to 2 restaurants and they didn't have an option for a French fry. I was like, I want to treat myself, but I can't eat your French fries. So Come on.
5 seconds.
But hashtag Free House has great french fries and a vegetarian burger, even though I do eat meat sometimes.
Stop talking. You're done. You're done.
Dang it! No!
Hey, thanks for taking time out of your 60 seconds to bash and then plug the bar that I work at.
Sorry! I love hanging out there, but man, it can be frustrating.
That was really good. I'm actually really impressed with that.
Thank you.
I was thinking, you know what? I really wanted to write stuff down. Probably it's going to be sports that I talk about in this section. It probably just will be, because that's the thing that I need an outlet to talk about this stuff. So, I mean, you can just let it run if you want, but I'm talking about how Max Kellerman is an idiot.
3,
go ahead.
2, 1, go.
If you watch First Take, then you already know Max Kellerman is an idiot. He kind of popularized it and was most famous for the whole Tom Brady's going to fall off a cliff thing, and then kept moving the goalpost, and he wouldn't back down from his idiot opinion. And so I want to talk about two people that Max Kellerman loves and is always defending, LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers, who both consistently underperform compared to their talent levels. This is all I want to say. And I wish I could go on that show and like just be Stephen A. Smith for a day. Have his hairline would be hilarious. Anyways, I gotta say this fast. I'm blanking. They asked Max, would an injury be part of falling off the cliff? And he said, yes, with Tom Brady, who never gets injured. He's Mr. Availability. So I just want to say, since LeBron and Aaron Rodgers are always injured, does that mean that they fell off a cliff and they're done? Beep. Spit it out there.
Good job. Wow.
I gotta write it down next time. I think I'm gonna read it from a card.
To lead into what you're talking about.
I totally did. You're right. But I got my main point out there. So
you did.
I'm happy.
Wasn't as good as mine though. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa, babe.
I've got your back, I'm sorry.
Do you? Because it feels like we're on different teams, the way this is a competition now. Yikes.
Sometimes it is a competition.
Let's kiss and make up.
Yay, because it's halftime.
It's time for 7 Seconds in Heaven.
And we're back.
This is 7 Seconds in Heaven.
Okay. Yep.
Come here.
We just did that.
No. I want to do it again. Come here.
No, wait.
Come on. Well, come on. You played hockey. Can we make this like hockey? And instead of halftime, we have periods, right? So there's like 2 breaks.
No.
This is 7 seconds in Heaven.
No. we'll have. I was gonna say 7 hours.
Oh.
Afterwards.
That was. I don't know. I don't know about that. Check the tape. I think you almost said something else.
No, I didn't. That's what I was going to say.
All right. Anyways,
okay!
So pumped for the second half. Here we go.
We've got some funny stuff in this half. So we're going to start off with a segment I like to call Trending with Terry.
Grab this for you.
So I'm actually super pumped with what I'm going to talk to you guys about today.
Ooh, it is.
Yes. So, as you guys have probably noticed, I don't know really when it started, maybe towards the end of last summer, but early 2000s in pretty much everything, but especially in fashion, are back. Which is super weird because that was our childhood, was early 2000s.
That's thinking how old we're getting.
Yes, well, and now I'm seeing people in high school and early college wearing stuff that I would have worn when I was a kid, which is oh no, we're just going to see that more and more as we get older. Not that I feel old per se, but I'm whoa, I'm already seeing that generation. Anyway, I'm really excited because if you guys can remember early 2000s, Gwen Stefani and Britney Spears and J-Lo with their crop tops and big baggy pants and chunky sneakers. Some of those sneakers have Velcro shoes and stuff. And David's got a story there. But I actually have a picture of Gwen Stefani that I'm going to put up so David can kind of see what I'm talking about here.
This may be one of the first times I've actually looked at what she looks like.
I picked Gwen Stefani specifically because these pants that she's wearing too, I think this was from her line that she did back in the early 2000s called her lamb line.
Oh.
And lamb is in sheep
You look pretty cool.
So you didn't know this, but Gwen Stefani was one of the first designers that I bought. I don't buy big designer clothing, but I think it was like money that I had saved or something, but I bought her bomber jacket that was specifically this black and white kind of like, and people loved this bomber jacket on me, and I loved it so much. So I'm really excited to see this look coming back into style because I love rocking those big baggy pants and like, cool tops and like your hair's all funky and maybe like a big hoop earring.
Ooh.
And even like in music too, like the Joe Bros are back. Like what is happening? It's crazy.
So
it's crazy that like
we talked
our childhood
this.
is back in style.
The Joe Bros. Those are the Jonas Brothers for anybody who doesn't understand what she's talking about. And again, my take was I'm just so sorry for Nick because it seemed like he had escaped. It seemed like he had gotten out of it. And nope,
they picked a great time to come back because like everybody's vibing with this.
You should put together that whole Gwen outfit and do like one of your hip hop. She's a really good dancer. We're gonna definitely do some.
Yes, we have to do some
choreography and dance videos.
Yeah, but no, I love that look, and I definitely want to get pants like that, and maybe even like a funky Velcro shoe.
Yeah, do it.
Right?
Yeah, you're helping me say. Well, I just wanted to say all this stuff that you're talking about, whether it was in music or fashion, early 2000s wasn't really when I would have been paying attention to any of that. So here's a scoop. I was homeschooled with my 4 siblings. We should find a fun picture of us and put that up there.
I need to text your mom.
My mom, I was going to say my mom and dad. I guess my mom is the one who birthed us. So she had all 5 of us in 6 years. And then they homeschooled us. And those were pretty fun years, pretty wild. But it was, I'm trying to think what year it would have been. Probably like 2003. When I was in 7th grade. Is that when that would have been? I think so. So
you're 2 years older than me.
Or 2004. And my schooling was all weird. It went up and down.
Yeah.
I skipped ahead a year. I stayed back. Maybe we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
But basically, my parents dressed us very matching all the time. So we went from like homeschool to thrust into the public school system. And my older brother and I, we should try to find a picture of this, would always have like blue jeans and button up, button down. I say button up.
I say button up.
It's button up. They're button up shirts.
Button up or down.
Sleeves all the way out, tucked in, and
probably too big for you.
I went into a brand new public school, new kid, and I had Velcro shoes.
Oh my God.
White Velcro shoes because they were more convenient. They were easier. And there was a rumor that I didn't know how to tie my shoes, and that's why I wore Velcro shoes. And
oh my God.
I just, when you say like, ooh, early 2000s are back, I just picture once we started like getting to loosen up a little bit and start exploring our own fashion styles or intuition.
Oh my gosh.
There's just this one time that I wore this outfit, and it was bad enough that one of my friends like commented on it, and I actually kind of, took a step back and was like, oh my goodness, what am I wearing? I had my Velcro shoes on. I had these kind of peachy red shorts that I thought were so cool because they were reversible. What's up?
Oh my gosh, classic.
And they were a little bit puffy. I remember one of my friends was like, hey, your butt looks big in those shorts. I was like, that's rude.
You do have a nice butt.
Whoa! PG-13. And I asked, so there was some kids that I saw that I was like, oh, they look so cool. And one, those like puffy jacket, like vests though?
Just
like
the vest?
Just a vest, not an actual jacket, but like whatever material that would be made out of. I thought that looked so cool. And I begged Judy, my mom, please, I want to have a vest like that. My mom was the person who fixed everything, who got everything for us. She figured it out, but it was a little bit different. It was like cloth. And I think my older brother Jonathan got one too, and it was cloth and like some kind of animal fur style, but it's still a vest.
This is getting worse and worse.
It's black and white with peachy red
shorts. Oh my gosh.
That are reversible. And my white Velcro shoes, and also one of my friends in 7th grade. I don't know how I had any friends. I don't know how I didn't get my butt kicked every day.
Yeah.
I was pretty popular. I don't know why. I think it's just
because you're probably like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like the confidence to just do whatever. But my buddy had a chain. And I was like, oh man, Cody looks so cool with that chain. That's such a 7th grade name for a boy, Cody.
Cody.
And so of course, we didn't buy an actual chain. I took like what was essentially a lanyard type thing, but it was like kind of dull, brassy looking. The little beads. I don't even know how to describe it. It was not a chain, but I wore that. By the way, vest, didn't wear a shirt underneath it.
And you went to school like this?
I went to public school in 7th grade with white Velcro shoes.
How did you even get away with that?
Red reversible shorts. A black and white kind of whatever animal pattern cloth vest. Unzipped to like here so that you could see the chain that I had. I think probably everybody was so afraid that I was mentally unstable wearing an outfit like that they didn't even say anything. Gosh. And then one of my friends was like, "What are you wearing?" And I took that step back and was like, "Yikes!
Yikes!
This is no bueno."
Okay.
So I want to bring that back though. That's what I want to try to do.
What I want to say is, he's not describing what's popular. So if you're like just somehow listening at the very tail end of that, don't do that. Because, no, that's not what's popular at all.
But when you say early 2000s, that's what I think of. So that's what I'm going to try to bring back.
Please don't.
And you're going to hold my hand.
Don't get a pair of peachy shorts. Because I will. I will Marie Kondo them out of this home.
That's so good. I would give anything for there to be a picture of that ensemble that I wore that day.
I know.
I remember it really vividly.
I'm going to text your mom after this and be like, please find this picture. Anyway, sure let's move on from that horrific image.
Oops, God.
Yikes.
It was fine.
It's fine.
I made it work.
If you wore that outfit to work, you would absolutely get beat up.
That's a good point, because where do I work?
Downtown.
You are crushing it with the segues today.
Yeah.
Wow. You're doing a great job.
Segue.
Let's do that one more time. This is our brand new segment. So much fun. This is called
Downtown with David.
I made it a question.
I don't know why I made it a question.
Honestly, not like a ton probably to talk about this first time, but I have a couple stories I want to tell. I don't want to take too much time because every time I'm downtown in Minneapolis, always something weird is happening. I park a little further away so I can park for free street parking, and I walk to the restaurant that I work at, and I walk back at night, especially when you're walking back super late. There's always weird stuff going on. It's like, hey, on Hennepin in Washington, that like financial center, whatever that big building is, and they have like that beautiful pond out in front. Well, last night I saw some guys puking in it. Right? Something like that. Or
what a pleasant walk back to your car.
A guy tried to snatch my bag right off of my back one time. And I was like, did you not think I was going to see you doing that? Oh my goodness. You know what? I think I'm going to tell this story next time we're just going to tease right here, of a social media beef that went down in real life in Hopcat. This was last summer.
Story time with David.
Well, you were kind of part of it this week, but it was Friday, so she's picking me up from work on Friday. We kind of talked about this earlier. It was just a lot happened at the same time. I'm leaving work. I'm walking just a block down because it's easier crossing street to get picked up. I'm on the phone with my mom, who I think she was like giving my niece a bath while also trying to tell me the birth story of my new nephew, Catherine and Matt. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you again. So that's happening. While that's happening, then Theresa's calling me because she's going to pick me up, and this guy was chasing after a bus and his scarf flew off. So I'm like on the phone. I grabbed his scarf and I'm trying to give that to him, and he's mad because the bus didn't stop. And then one of the regulars at Hopcat is walking by, and now I remember his name. Michael. Michael, if you're watching this, Tito's Dirty Martini, 3 olives. I'll see you soon. And so there's just like a lot happening at the same time, and I'm trying to, where am I going to meet up with Theresa? And then I look over kind of where you're coming from, and there's this guy standing on a bench, and it's like kind of raised from street level too. So there's like a platform and then a bench. So probably like 4 feet total from the top of the bench to where street level is. And he's standing up there and he just does a swan dive off of the bench and falls that full like 4 feet, whatever it is, just boom, crashes on the ground. It was so weird.
And this is also at like 6, 7 o'clock at night? Like, not late.
Oh, yeah, no, it was like 7. But you're on the phone going, I think I see a fight happening right now. Totally,
which is a separate literally,
situation.
People were, like, getting in a fight.
But I started, like, running over to try to help this guy who, for no reason, leapt completely horizontal. Boom, smashed on the ground. We had a video of that. We could just play back and forth. Wild. And I was like, why would you do that? And he's, like, kind of struggling to get up, and I go to help him up. And this is the part that I thought was so funny was... So, to me... We talked about this. You'd go like this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like this, hands right here to help someone. It's kind of a natural,
it's like,
especially for bros, it's kind of a natural way to do that. But the way he reached up to me, it was, and I took his hand, it was actually very intimate. And he was like kind of on one knee for a second. And when I fully helped him up, we kind of like almost got a little close to each other, and I was like, this is all a little weird.
Strange.
What's happening right now?
What's happening?
And he was like, I tripped. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, no, you did. I just watched you dive off of that bench. No idea why. I mean, he seemed like he was going through something, but we got out of there real fast. But basically, I'm telling this to say, I'm pretty sure I got engaged. I know, because I was like... Accidentally. Didn't
is there another ring on your finger anywhere?
You're going to have to beat this guy up.
No, seriously,
throw him off that bench again.
Swan dude.
Hey, whoever that is, I hope you're all right. And I'm kind of already with somebody, so sorry.
LOL. Oh my gosh. So many more stories to come.
Well, there you go. That was Downtime with David.
We should wrap up this podcast.
Let's do it.
With our final segment here.
This is going to be Will Terry Think It's Funny. This video, I got to pull it up again, is something that I'm sure a lot of people have seen, and I'm so excited. You might have seen it before, but I just want to see, are you going to laugh? This is probably something a lot of people have seen before.
Oh, no, we can play the...
Yeah.
We can play this stuff on the screen.
Yes. Here we go.
Right here, these buckets are filled with grapes. What kind
of grapes? Have you seen this?
No.
She hasn't seen it.
And the winner
Guys.
this Saturday who stomps the most juice will actually win an overnight stay.
Probably all of you watching have seen this before.
Yeah, sure. Disgusting. All right, you ready? Give us a 30-second
They're
time.
crushing grapes.
So what's the deal here? There's a contest to stomp, and how are you measuring who does the best stomping?
It's a weird angle. I don't, it's
really weird. This is, makes me feel
the measuring cups are down below, right? Measuring cups are down below. All right. And if you
also very pale legs.
Well, great stomping quite the thing. You can come and spend the day listening to live music, eating international foods, having wine tours and tasting.
That sounds great. You want to go?
Vineyard tours, seminars.
They're really going for it too.
Yeah, they are.
The whole day. Stop.
Oh.
Look at the reaction. No. This is the best part. She's trying so hard not to laugh.
Oh, hey, gosh, I hope she's okay. Okay, we're going to make sure she...
We're going to see her try not to laugh.
We'll be back right after this.
That is so hilarious.
I am so happy. I can't believe that's the first time you've seen that.
I've never seen that. I was like, okay, this is gross and kind of weird with the stomping.
Dude, that is hilarious.
And then she just bites it.
That's what she got for trying to cheat.
Yeah.
Get the other lady to stop so she can go faster.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
that's you did make me laugh.
Yeah,
so thumbs up for that.
Yeah, I'm shooting like 66% from the field now. So there we go. Listen, we're wrapping this up. Yeah. This was a super fun podcast. Time flies when I'm hanging out with you. You know that?
Yeah.
I love you very much.
I love you very much.
Check out podcast number 1. Podcast number 2. Follow us on social media. Where can they find that stuff?
Insta. Actually, go on our homepage on YouTube, and you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Do it.
You can go to all those links.
All those links. Hit the links.
But make sure you guys subscribe, comment, and hit the little bell because we have cool videos coming out all the time. So make sure.
And you can see us live from DC. All right. You can click those links right now. We're going to end on the same page like we always do. So, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. First word pops in your head. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Guitar.
Pillow. Guitar and pillow. Oh, very different.
Okay. I have one.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Lullaby.
Center and lullaby.
Center and...
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Story.
Music. Music and story.
Music and...
If you don't say the correct answer, I'm going to be so furious.
Music.
And story. Here it comes. 1,
2,
2, 3.
Sound
Ballad.
of music. Ballad? How is that supposed to be a ballad?
You said
Sound of music. And
Sound of music and ballad.
Ballad.
Okay. Oh, this is not a good time to blank.
1, 2, 3.
Edelweiss. Trapped song.
Oh,
so sorry.
David.
I apologize so much.
Okay, you're saying
I can't
Von
believe
Trapp.
I blanked. We've been watching Man in the High Castle.
I know.
Oh.
Von Trapp family and Edelweiss.
Oh man. I put us in a box. This was all my
Von
fault.
Trapp family. And
if you haven't clicked those links yet, go watch my podcast.
I'm having a blank too. I don't know why.
No, we can do it.
Okay.
Never give up. Never back down.
Okay, fine. 1.
Edelweiss.
Wait.
Yeah, here we go. Well, just go. 1, 2, 3. Germany.
Oh!
And just like that, we're back on the same page.
Yay.
Get over here.